Like it's buffering.
Hey, good morning. It's Terry. I can't get evidently I don't have video on. And it didn't ask me if I wanted it. Oh, wait,
Okay.
got it. Never mind.
Okay, let's say it's at the bottom.
All right,
counting
sir,
four.
It shows that we are live on Go St. Angelo.
Okay.
And Commissioner Striblin's in the waiting room now.
Okay, it looks like we've got 4 already, and so with him, that'll make 5.
3. Yeah, and Terry's on. I don't see her video or anything, but I've got Brittany and Joe and Ryan. Well, Ryan was on.
Yeah, it's not letting me start my video for some reason.
Are you on your phone or your computer?
I'm on my computer.
Huh.
So let me see. Let me go to this last one. Okay.
Brian, do you see Travis dribbling in there?
I have someone named Guest and then a 234 number, but no one by Travis.
234 is Russell Gully.
Okay, let me fix that real quickly.
I guess just let guest in. Let's see who it is.
Okay, I'm admitting all of them.
Okay.
Okay. Any idea for me? This is not working.
Terry, you may just have to log off and log back in. I haven't.
Okay.
And Brian, we'll just look for Terry when she comes back on.
Okay.
Oh, there's Travis. Yeah, he's guest. Okay.
Good
So
morning.
hey, good morning. Terry's logging off and logging back on. We're trying to make the best out of a terrible situation. So I'm very sorry for everyone that has to go through this with us. So we just want to let everybody know we have kind of an abbreviated plan since we're having to use cell phones and we don't have the capability. Not everyone has the capability to do PowerPoints. So we have a suggestion or a thought, I guess. John and I have come up with an idea that we are recommending approval on all the plats and we are recommending approval on all the variances. So our thought was those are the time sensitive things is the plats. So if we could open all those up, we could then let open public comment. Staff will not be making presentations because again, some of us are on cell phones, but again, we're recommending approval of all of them, open it up for public comment, let everybody speak that needs to speak on the plats, close public comment and take one vote on all the plats, if that works for the commission.
Honestly, I haven't had a chance to go through and review all of the plats. And I understand the challenges that we're facing right now. Can we table any portion of this agenda?
Yeah, I think Hillary was getting to that point that after the plats, our intention was, if you were okay with it, was to then table all of the other cases. The reason we have to hear the plats is that by state statute, if we don't address them within 30 days, they're automatically approved.
Yes.
And so that doesn't work for many of them because of the variances.
Right.
And so we have to actually act on the plats, but then our intention was to just table the remainder of the items until I think we were thinking a week from today, if that works for the commissioners.
And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plats, I believe that were on we were combining some because they're related. So we have about 5 that we had PowerPoints for. So Jeff does have internet at his house right now currently, and he does have the PowerPoints. So if you want to just show the plats, he could possibly just pull up each of the plats and show the commission. I know it's going to be hard on our phones, but we do have an option for possibly showing them. Again, staff is recommending approval of all of them and approval of all the variances. So we thought this might be an easy way to help. And then again, we would then open up the rest of the meeting, table it. We're hoping if y'all we'd be able to table it till next Monday and then do all the zoning cases at that time.
Okay. I'm looking at the plats right now. Are there,
so if you'll get the
are
meeting,
these all preliminary plats, I'm assuming?
No, sir. Some of them are final. We have Denny Edition. Section 2 is a final of a section of the Denny Edition, which is on Roosevelt, kind of close to Rio, Concho, and Irene. Why don't we go ahead and open up the meeting and then we'll go through all of them.
Okay,
So,
sounds
Hillary,
good.
we'll start with the consent agenda, which includes Meridian, and do that first, and then go to the
Okay.
plats.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's great. Are we ready to start?
Yes, sir. We're ready.
Yes, we're live. Yes.
Okay, good morning. It is 9:09 on February 15th, and we're going to start this Planning Commission meeting. Do we have a quorum present?
I believe so. I can't see everybody all at one time, but Jeff, could you verify that, please?
Yes, we have 6, everyone except Luke today.
Okay, great. First item is the consent agenda. The commission may request for a consent agenda item to be moved to the regular agenda for presentation and public comment. Otherwise, the consent agenda will be considered in one vote. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
A second.
Great, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye by show of hands. Opposed?
Jeff, can you verify that count for us?
Yes, 6-0.
Okay, thank you.
0. Okay. So I'm going to let the city staff speak here for a second on the
Well, if
steps
you
from
will,
here.
so what we're going to do is the rest of the plats we're going to read in all at once. And I'm sorry, Travis, that's quite a bit for you, but if you will read them all in, if you would like a small summary of them, of each one, we could do that. And then we will open up public comment all at once. I know that Russell, if he could, I know he's on, if he can speak, I know he has a couple of things he would like to talk to, but yeah, if you will read those in, we'll do a short little summary on each one.
Okay. Are we going to consider all of these in one vote? Is that
Yes,
what you're proposing?
yes, sir, we can. We can consider them all in one motion.
All right. We've got, so I'm happy to read these all in. I don't know, would we take separate votes on some of these if we have
If we
questions
had,
or
yes, sir. If
how do we
had
handle that?
Yeah, if we had any kind of concern with any of them, we could take a separate motion. Again, staff is recommending approval of all of them and approval of all the variances. So I don't know that there'll be, I know, again, some of it's just Russell is wanting to defer some of the conditions, which we're good with, but I think he just wants to make those comments. So.
Okay. So regular agenda subdivision plats, the planning commission has final authority for approval. Appeals may be directed to city council. A, second revised preliminary plat, block 10, Pauline Park. A request for approval of preliminary plat, block 10, Pauline Park, being 14.206 acres located west of the intersection of McGill Boulevard and Ricks Drive. B, Pauline Park, section 19. A request for approval of the final plat of Pauline Park, section 19, being 3.26 acres, generally located northeast of the intersection of Ricks Drive and Daniel Street. And a variance from chapter 10-3A2 of the Land Development and Subdivision Ordinance to maintain a paving width of 40 feet in lieu of the required 50 feet for Ricks Drive and Urban Minor Collector Street. Pauline Park, section 20. A request for approval of a final plat, Pauline Park, section 20, being 3.0896 acres located generally west of the intersection of Ricks Drive and McGill Boulevard. And a variance from chapter 10-3A2 of the Land Development and Subdivision Ordinance to maintain a paving width of 40 feet in lieu of the required 50 feet for Ricks Drive and Urban Minor Collector Street. Item D, Pauline Park, section 21. A request for approval of a final plat of Pauline Park, section 21, being 7.857 acres, generally located south of the intersection of Gordon Boulevard and McGill Boulevard, and a variance from chapter 10-3A2 of the Land Development and Subdivision Ordinance to maintain a paving width of 40 feet and lieu of the required 50 feet for Ricks Drive and Urban Minor Collector Street. Item E, first replat of block 60, Fort Concho addition. A request for approval of a replat for Fort Concho addition, block 60 being 4.15 acres located southwest of the intersection of Henry O. Flipper Street and Burgess Street. And a variance from chapter 10.3A2 of the Land Development Subdivision Ordinance to maintain a paving width of 36 feet without a sidewalk in lieu of the required 40 feet or 36 feet with a 4-foot sidewalk with no curb and gutter for Burgess Street, an urban local street. Item F, Denny Addition, Section 2, a request for approval of a replat of the Denny Addition, Section 2, being 1.269 acres located at the 1200 block of Roosevelt Street. Then a variance from chapter 10.3A2 of the Land Development Subdivision Ordinance to maintain a paving width of 36 feet with no curb and gutter in lieu of the required 40 feet or 36 feet with a 4-foot sidewalk with curb and gutter for Irene Street, an urban local street. Item G, preliminary plat of Double J, City Farm Road subdivision. The request for approval of preliminary plat of Double J, it's a tongue twister, City Farm Road subdivision, being approximately 1,964.06 acres north of FM 380 and east of the city limits. And item H, final plat of Double J, City Farm Road subdivision. A request for approval of a final plat of Double J, City Farm Road subdivision, being 28 acres located approximately 0.5 miles northeast of FM 380 and City Farm Road. And the variance from chapter 10.3A2 of the Land Development and Subdivision Ordinance to maintain a paving width of 20 feet in lieu of the required 30 feet for the City Farm Road, a local rural local street. Okay.
All right. So I think Jeff is able to pull them up real quick. Again, we're not going to go through our whole normal presentation. Jeff, could you start with Pauline Park and just give us like even just the front cover sheet and we'll look at it real quick.
Sure. One moment, guys. Okay, so y'all should see that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's great. So
Perfect.
this is the kind of a middle piece of land in the middle of Pauline. It's a preliminary along with 3 associated final plats. The whole total acreage is 14.206. It divides up evenly between those 3. It is east of McGill Boulevard, north of Ricks Drive, south of Gordon Boulevard, and west of Daniel. So you can kind of see it's a big chunk in there. They're putting the one kind of purplish lot you see there will be a drainage lot. The other 2 will be 10 lots and 9 lots respectively. The only variance on this whole thing is for Ricks Drive. That's the southern roads you see there. It is designated as a collector on our master thoroughfare plan. It would have to be 50 feet wide by the standards, and it's only currently 40. We are requesting sidewalks on Ricks Drive. There is a school directly, it's kind of, I don't know, a little bit down to the east. So the city is looking to put in sidewalks along Ricks a little further down. This will be a connecting piece to it. I think one of the things that the developer will ask for is deferral of these sidewalks until time of construction of the homes.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions on that one? So that's actually 4 cases, the preliminary and the 3 finals, all in that area.
Okay.
Okay, Jeff, if you'll go now to Fort Concho.
Okay. Hang on, I went ahead.
That's okay.
Hillary, we might take the time when we're going through, when Jeff's finding the next one, to see if there are any questions from commissioners on that one.
Yeah.
Let's take the specific item of the sidewalks.
Okay.
Does anyone object to deferring the sidewalks or feel differently than the city about deferring the sidewalks to the time of development?
I agree with the city.
Okay.
Hillary, there was there was also the item on the fire lane width and construction of the fire lane to those flag lots.
Okay,
If those can be deferred, and
okay,
then also if the requirement can just kind of stay in line with what the Appendix D of the fire code says, not because the width, the approval says 26 feet, but the fire code varies from 20 to 26 feet depending on the length of the fire lane.
okay. And I would have to at least ask planning commission to, keep those in line with the IBC. We don't have a representative from fire here due to the circumstances. So, if we want to approve this with deferring the sidewalks and with keeping the conditions in line with the International Fire Code, I'd be good with that. I don't want to change the width without deferring to the fire department. So if we keep those in line with the International Fire Code, I think that would keep us in line.
Okay.
So this next one is the Fort Concho Addition replat of Block 60. You can see it's kind of a larger chunk of land. It's a little over 4 acres. It's existing. There's 2 barracks on there. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. So we are southwest of Henry O. Flipper, and we're a little bit to the west of Burgess Street. The current state building is to the right there. It's a pretty large building. They're looking to add 2 new barracks on this property to rebuild where the old original barracks were. So this is a great reconstruction project. So we are platting the land in order to be able to reconstruct those barracks. Their only variance is on a small section of Burgess Street, which is currently 36 feet wide, which does not have a sidewalk. So again, we're recommending approval of the plat and approval of the variance.
Okay.
Okay. The
Anyone
next
have
one would be,
questions on that one?
okay, the next one would be the Denny edition. Jeff, do you have Sherry's PowerPoints available as well?
Yes, let me pull those up
Okay.
now, y'all.
Sherry, are you able to give them a short description?
I can give a very short description.
Okay, perfect. That's the way it's gonna
Hey,
work
Sherry.
today. All right,
Good morning, guys. This is a replat of Section 2 of the Denny Edition. You had approved a first plat of that. Now they're coming back with a different modification. They're proposing the flag lots. And then there is one lot that fronts on Irene. They are requesting a variance on Irene. It is 36 feet wide. It does have curb and gutter, and staff is recommending approval of both the variance and Denny's addition, Section 2.
Okay. Is the variance for Irene just street width?
Essentially, yes, because it doesn't have sidewalks.
Okay.
It would need to be 40.
and
Got it.
really the only piece that touches Irene is that one little piece you see jutting out to the right. So it's
Right.
not even
Yes.
a very large section.
Yeah, I
It's
see that.
55 feet, yeah.
Okay. Anyone have questions on this case? Or comments? All right. The next one is it Double J?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Jeff, you got that one going?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let me just get back up here because I had it set up this morning. So this one is all of city land, and it's a preliminary plat for numerous city acreage, which is quite a substantial area. It's 1,964 acres. This is just a preliminary plat for the future. Once they extend roads and they start adding things, and they'll start to final plat. What triggered this is this 28-acre piece here that the city's about to sell to a land processing facility. There's already one there now. The new owner would move in and continue with those buildings. As part of this, there's a de facto road, City Farm Road, that has existed in that configuration for over 40 years. And so the city would sell this 20-acre piece, and then the rest would just be part of the preliminary plat. As part of this request, there's one variance. City Farm Road is 20 feet. Staff is supporting that, given that for two reasons. One, it's existed all the way along for 40 years in that configuration. Number two is that the city owns all of the land on both sides of the road. So in essence, the city would be having to make the improvements anyway. So we believe that that's appropriate and meets the land division and subdivision ordinance. And so it'd be an approval of the preliminary plat of all of the acreage, the final plat of just that 28 acres down there, and the variance. And it's just a close-up of the plats. Any questions on that one?
You want to have questions for Jeff or the staff on this one?
So I think at this point, we would just open it up for public comment. Let everybody comment on these.
I'm going to open it up for public comment.
Good
Anyone
morning,
wishing to
Russell
speak?
with SKG.
Morning,
Really just
Russell.
happy to answer any questions and ask you guys for the Pauline West plats to defer the sidewalks until CO or the building construction, and then for the fire lane, let's keep it with just the IBC or something such that we can get back to the fire marshal, and really just striking the 26 feet statement in there, and because they later state that it is per the IBC International Fire Code for fire apparatus access routes. So that really truly covers it. Just wanted some flexibility there to work with the fire marshal.
Okay. Thank you, Russell.
Thank you.
Anyone have questions for Russell? All right. Anyone else wishing to speak on any of these plat cases? All right. I'm going to close public comment. Anyone have any thoughts that they'd like to share or wish to make a motion?
Travis, I wanted you to know that Joe Spano has lost connection. He said that he's on a hotspot and it wasn't very good, and he's no longer on the call.
Okay. So we're down to 5.
Yes.
So we still have a quorum. I think we should proceed. Would anyone like to make a motion on these plats?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented with exceptions to the plan to defer the sidewalks and also the flexibility to work with the fire marshal with IBC.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I want to clarify deferring the sidewalks. Do we defer it to when they pull the permit to build on the lots? Is it deferred to CO? What do you want to defer it to?
We would prefer it to at least submit plans with their building permit. So we would defer it to building permit phase. They could finish the construction before final CO, but we would rather defer it to building permit phase.
Yep. Okay. Terry, is that good with you? On
Yes.
the motion that you've made?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to defer or to approve all of the plats with a deferral on the sidewalks for the Pauline lots until the building permit phase. And a reference on the fire lane access to the International Fire Code as opposed to the stated 26 feet that the city staff had put in the presentation. All in favor, say aye, or by show of hands. And opposed?
5-0.
5-0. Okay. At this point, given the circumstances, I think it might be best for us to table the remainder of this agenda until our next meeting.
Well, and we could possibly have another meeting before then. So I don't know exactly how Brandon would like to word this, and I don't know. We may need to open all these up, Travis, and then take a motion to table.
Okay.
I would say to a future meeting date, if we can be as that unspecific. Brandon, I don't know if you have any, if he's on here still, but we would like to. if
Hillary,
possible.
I don't think so. I think we have to table it to a date specific. Otherwise, we would have to re-notify and send out new notices to everyone.
Okay,
So it does have to be to a specific date.
our
Hillary,
We're going to table it to next month's meeting.
Well, and our preference was to table it to next week if we could. It would be a half agenda, so we would just be doing the planning cases. If everyone would be available next week, that was our preference. That way we don't hold these applicants up by a month. So, I don't know what everybody's calendars look like. If everybody could just meet, hopefully it'd be a shorter meeting since we don't have our plats to go through.
Sure.
Hillary, could we do the Shannon PD if Jeff has it and we're good with it? Is that something or is that kind of pushing?
Well, I think we were just some people are using their private cell phones and cell services to do this. So we had to do the plats because they have state specific timelines. So we were trying to see if we could just table the planning cases till next week. Hopefully, again, it would be a very short meeting and it wouldn't put us off on our timelines for city council and other things that had already been notified for.
Okay, so let's start with, is everybody that's on this call right now available next Monday at 9 a.m.?
I am.
Okay, I am.
So it looks like we have enough for at least a quorum. So if Travis, I do think you're going to need to open all of them up, take a motion to table till next Monday. And that way we don't put everybody out possibly a
Okay.
month.
Let's go.
Okay.
So we're gonna table all of these to February 19th. Is that right? At 9 a.m.
22nd, February 22nd.
22nd. Thank you.
22nd. Yes.
Okay. Related comprehensive plan amendment and rezoning. City council has final authority for approval of comprehensive plan amendments and rezonings. I'm going to read both of these in. 2218 Martin Luther King Boulevard and 200 blocks of West 22nd and 23rd Streets. CP 21-01, 200 block of West 23rd Street, a request for approval of an amendment to the City of San Angelo Comprehensive Plan, changing certain lands from the neighborhood future land use to commercial future land use, being 0.16 acres located in the 200 block of West 23rd Street. And Z 21-01, 2218 Martin Luther King Boulevard and 200 blocks of West 22nd and 23rd Streets, a request for approval of rezoning from the general commercial, heavy commercial, and single family residential zoning districts to the general commercial zoning district located at 2218 Martin Luther King Boulevard Drive, 3 lots in the 200 block of West 22nd Street and 1 lot in the 200 block of West 23rd Street, being 1.125 acres. Do I have a motion?
Jeff, could you please stop sharing your screen?
Motion to table until February 22nd.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to table this case until February 22nd at 9 a.m. All in favor, say aye by show of hands. Opposed?
Okay.
Is that 5-0?
Jeff, can you verify that?
Yes, 5-0.
All right, rezoning. City council has final authority for approval of rezonings. PD 20-01, 630 South Oak Street, a request for approval of rezoning from light manufacturing, general heavy commercial, low-rise multifamily residential and 2 family residential zoning districts to the planned development zoning district to allow for museums, offices, and associated uses located north of East Washington Street, east of South Oaks Street, south of the Texas Pacific Railway, and west of Rust Street, being approximately 38 acres. Do I have a motion?
Motion to table until February 22nd.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to table until February 22nd. All in favor, say aye by show of hands. And opposed? That's
Jeff, can you
5-0.
hear?
Yes, 5-0.
All right. B, amendment to PDO 7-03, 2909 South A&M Avenue, a request for approval of an amendment to the plan development to allow an additional use of a water processing and delivery business and related accessory uses for a property located at 2909 South A&M Avenue. Do I have a motion?
A motion to table till Monday, the 20th of February.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to table until February 22nd. All in favor, say aye by show of hands. Opposed?
5-0.
Amendment to PD 15-04, 120 East Harris Avenue. Request for approval of an amendment to the planned development zoning district for a medical facilities campus to expand the district boundaries, to modify the development standards, and to allow all uses in the central business district, as well as hospitals and drug processing and related accessory uses, being approximately 49 acres located north of East Tuig Avenue, east of Chadburn Street, south of Woodrow Street, west of Main Street. Do I have a motion?
Motion to table until February 22nd.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to table. All in favor, say aye by show of hands. Opposed? Is that 5-0 again?
5-0.
All right. Z 21-02, 124 to 128 West 4th Street. Request for approval of a rezoning from the light manufacturing zoning district to the central business district zoning district, being 0.396 acres located at 124 to 128 West 4th Street. Do I have a motion?
Motion to table until February 22nd.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to table until February 22nd. All in favor, say aye by show of hands. Opposed?
Okay, 5-0.
5-0. Conditional uses to the planning commission. Its final authority for approval. Appeals may be directed to the city council. CU 21-01, 112 North Milton Street. A request for approval of a conditional use for household living in the neighborhood commercial zoning district for a property located at 112 North Milton Street. Do I have a motion?
Motion to table till the 22nd.
Second.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to table until February 22nd. All in favor, say aye by show of hands. Opposed?
Okay, that's 5-0.
All right, right-of-way abandonment. City council has final authority for approval of right-of-way abandonments. Street right-of-way abandonment, 200 block of West 23rd Street. A request for approval of a request to approve the abandonment of 6,582 square feet of the south side of West 23rd Street right-of-way between Martin Luther King Drive and Far Street. Do I have a motion?
Motion to table till February 22nd.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to table until February 22nd. All in favor, say aye by show of hands. And opposed?
Okay, 5-0.
Director's report.
Yeah, nothing to add today.
Okay,
We will get the other meeting set up for next week. And again, we apologize for, again, trying to make the best out of a bad situation. So thank you all for your patience and let us know if you need anything between now and then.
So under future meeting agenda and announcements, we are planning to have another meeting on February 22nd at 9 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
All right. An adjournment. Do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All right. Motion. We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye by show of hands. And opposed?
All right, 5-0, and it's 9:39 a.m. Thank you all.
Thank
right.
you.
You guys stay warm and safe.
Stay safe.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Okay.